Hi, I'm the Magpie.
And I'm Jax.
And this is Mondays with Magpie. And today we are going to begin the Bread Chronicles.
Homemade bread. Nothing like it. It's incredible. The taste is amazing.
Yeah, it really is so very, very good. And I was talking to my oldest sister, Betty, and she was telling me that the bread we're making today and the bread that you will make in your home after you find out how easy it is.
It's really hard. I give this one as gifts too. Well, I'm really impressed when you give it. They're like, oh, you made bread. Oh,
yeah.
I know. I took a couple weeks out of my time to make this bread for you.
But anyway, well, she said it cost 33 cents a loaf.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And I have a loaf of bread in my freezer that costs $3.99.
Quite a markup.
So, yeah.
Maybe we should start selling bread.
Well, yeah, for 33 cents, that's all it costs to make. So, to begin, we are going to make honey whole wheat bread because everybody wants healthier choices in their bread. So this is the brown. All bread is wheat bread. I mean, you know, the run-of-the-mill bread is wheat bread. But we're going to make the brown wheat bread. And we're going to add some honey. So let's get started. Here's how it goes. First of all, we're going to add 2 cups of white flour.
Okay.
All-purpose, just plain old all-purpose flour. Nice level.
Level?
Yeah, nice
Okay.
level. Just level them off. Yeah. All right, so that's 2 of those. And we're going to put 2 of the whole wheat flour. And you can just buy this at the Acme.
My counting has improved. I don't know if you
I'm
noticed.
so glad.
Got 2 there. It's 1.
1 and 2.
2.
Okay.
Now, why do we use half and half?
Well, because you start out with like a big pasty mess and then you gradually add. Flour can be dry, it can be not so dry, and you never kind of know how much flour you're going to use exactly. So it's not an exact science. So if you didn't have a measuring cup and you wanted to use a teacup or a mug, as long as you keep the same measure all the way along, the bread turns out. I mean, this is not rocket science, gang.
It's very hard though.
No, it's not. Okay.
Hey, I counted to 2 this time.
So we need a tablespoon of salt.
Tablespoon.
Yeah, regular old table salt or kosher salt.
But you use the half whole wheat and half.
Yeah, half. If you use all whole wheat, it's like a hockey puck. So, and we don't like hockey puck bread.
We're not very.
Okay, ready?
That's the
Add
yeast.
1 tablespoon of yeast or 2 packets. I buy it by the bulk, but if you don't buy bulk, which most people do not,
And it goes?
1 tablespoon. Yeah, 1 tablespoon or 2 packets of yeast. So now we're going to put a teaspoon of sugar, just a teaspoon of sugar, and we'll cut down on the sugar. You need that to make the yeast react or to feed the yeast. And then also to feed the yeast, because it's whole wheat, we're going to put honey in it because that really, really kicks up the flavor nicely. And we're going to use, maybe a 1/4 cup of honey. You can almost just, squeeze it in. Just get some honey. Like I say, it's not an exact science. So you put in what you've got. All right, so honey goes in.
Yes, dear.
Just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze.
That was good.
Honey, honey, honey.
2 hands, I think.
I used to teach school, and one day I walked into another teacher's room, and he said, "Oh, how are you, honey?" And I couldn't believe me eyes, or me ears. I thought, you called me honey in your class in front of a 6th grade class.
Oh my goodness.
That's good enough. That's enough. We don't want to be real sweet.
Sorry.
Yeah, she's got carried away there.
It's not all the way to the top.
Okay, now save that. All right, save that. All right, so now we have the dry ingredients and the honey measured out, and now we're going to do the wet ingredients. Now we continue with the wet ingredients. I ran the tap hot. I just ran it until it was hot, and it's measuring, it goes to about 112 degrees, and that's sufficient. Well, this is between 112 and 115, you're safe. All right, you will not kill the yeast. So into that, we are going to add a 1/2 cup of oil. So since we have a measuring cup, I'm just going to dump the oil until it comes up to a 1/2.
Those are curds.
Well,
there it is, half.
Yeah, that's probably about it. Okay, a 1/2 cup of oil, and now you can put that in, and then we're going to throw the honey in as well. And my friends, you have now finished making bread.
I've never done it this way, actually. This
Yeah,
is
well,
with
my
the-
sister makes wonderful bread, so there you go. All right, now the work begins. You take off your rings. If you have rings, take them off because it's going to get nasty.
Okay.
Okay, and we stir and stir and stir and stir gently so it doesn't go all over the place, Jacqueline. Okay, so stir, stir, stir till it's all incorporated. If you have a big mixer, you can do this in a big mixer, but in the beginning, I think it's good to do it with your hands because you need to know how it feels. So, and how it looks and everything else about
And you
it.
would use a bread hook if you use
Yeah, you'd use a bread hook, but it's fun doing it by hand. It makes you feel like you're baking, you know, like you're really in there doing something.
So that's where the love comes in. Again, it's making a mess for
Absolutely.
people that means more than.
That's it.
You know.
That's your love. All right, mix it all up, love. All right, now we are going to start adding flour, 1 cup at a time until the dough gets sort of together, and then we're going to dump it out. Now, don't dump it out
I'm just
yet.
showing
Yeah.
you what it looks like.
It's
Right
like,
now it's kind of.
yeah, it's like yuck. It's like yuck. But anyway.
It's like porridge.
All right, Jax. 1 cup of white flour. Okay, Jacqueline, now it's time to put the dough out onto the floured surface. So you need a nice big surface, nice clear surface. All right, dump the dough out
Okay.
as best you can. Get as much out as you can because it gets sticky in the bowl. We put white flour down because it's easier to incorporate the white flour. The whole wheat feels coarse. Feels very, very coarse.
All right.
All right, good girl. Now for the fun part. Now
The
you are going
squishy
to
part.
knead the dough for between 3 to 5 minutes, and it's important that you knead it for 3 to 5 minutes. So I am going to set the timer.
And it needs quite a lot of flour I mean, unless this one is different, right? You just keep
It needs flour. Yeah.
keep covering the spots that it sucks
Yeah.
up the flour.
Yep, and then you can
Heats
throw
it up.
some, yeah. And you see how Jacqueline's doing that? She picks it up and then she pushes it with the heels of her hands. And that's a good, you don't do grabby things or punching, you do pushing things.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
there's no punching.
Yes, because there's no punching in bread making. Yeah, you were raising
There's
the
squishing.
gluten. That's what you were doing, raising the gluten. You're making the gluten come out.
You're bringing that yeast to life.
Yeah, doing everything.
More of that science.
It is very scientific bread. Now you can see how scientific it is.
You don't really have to know any science, but you're doing science whether you like it or not.
Absolutely, you are doing the science. Yeah, we're raising the gluten in the flour and making so it strings, so it'll all stick together and get nice and stretchy, and that way the yeast, when it works, it will push up the bread dough. And yeah, keep on going. And she is going to knead that bread now until the timer goes off. Okay, Jax, what do you think?
I think it's starting to push back, but this is the part that always makes me nervous since I am rather new to it. It's a very subtle, feeling.
Yeah, it is.
You know, but
you see?
it feels harder on your muscles when you push.
See it? See it bouncing? See it bouncing?
It comes right up, back
yes,
up.
Bouncing right back up. So I always say when it pushes back at you, that's when you know it's done. I think, Jacqueline, you can form that into a nice little round.
Okay.
And now I wash the bowl because you know Jacqueline loves to clean. So I wash the bowl. I'm going to put some oil in the bowl. And
This part really doesn't have to look pretty
no, not
because
at all.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't have to look pretty at all. Okay,
The
that
oil.
goes in. All right, and then we'll throw some oil on top.
Oh,
all right.
Oh, I thought you.
Well, it's all right. All right, we'll throw some oil on top. I didn't put a whole lot of oil in.
Okay.
This thingy is very, very temperamental. All right, so you just cover it with oil
Sure has it up on the other
because you don't want it to dry out. Because bread it'll get a skin on it if you're not careful. All right, and then we cover it with a tea towel, and you put in a non-drafty place. It should be sort of nice and warm, but like just out in the open is fine. Unless you have air conditioning at 65 degrees in your house, then you might want to turn the oven up to like maybe 100 and stick it in. So, yeah, because you don't want it to be really, really cold or nothing will happen.
And then you clean now.
And then you clean, yes. Now it's time to clean. All right, so we're going to put this aside. And we had let the bread raise for about an hour and a half, 90 minutes. And you can tell it has doubled in size. And now it's time to make loaves.
That really just happens. It's one of the first things you ever taught me to do, and I was like, help, I don't know how to do anything. And I was like, I can't make bread. But honestly, it just happens like this.
Yeah.
You just walk away.
It just does.
For, wait, how long was it?
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half. And you just come back and it's like something happened that whole time.
Yeah, and if you stick your finger in, it stays down. Bread is ready. That's how you know. So all you have to do is, if you're going to make bread, you have to stay home all day.
Yeah, it's just a time-consuming
Yeah, and
process.
Jacqueline, what can they do while they're staying home all
Well,
day?
I don't know. I guess if you just mop and clean the windows
and so much cleaning goes on when you make bread. But yeah, you do need to stay home. All right, so now bread is out.
Or you can run out for literally an hour and a half.
You really can. Yeah, but you need to be back in
time.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends upon.
Otherwise, it becomes so big it takes over your entire kitchen, and it just keeps growing and growing, and then it takes over the house, and then so you have to be there.
And then you punch it down, and it goes back up again. All right. So what we're going to do now is we are going to cut it into thirds. We're trying to make 3 loaves here. All right. We're going to try to make 3 loaves.
I did not have this. Maggie just got me one of these, and around Christmas time or something. And it's really cool to have one of these thingies. What are they called?
Bench scraper.
Bench scraper.
Called a bench scraper.
But you can really just use any kind of knife. I think I was using just like a chef knife.
Yeah, you can use a knife. However, you know, when you get to this level of cooking and you're making bread for your friends, well then you must of course have a bench scraper.
And if you want to be more exacting, it has a little ruler on it. And then when you have to clean up the dough, it's nice.
It's really nice for cleaning up.
I'm not making any money telling you, but I would go.
Yeah. All right, cut the bread.
How like that?
Now in 3. Now imagine. Let's just imagine before. All right, I'm thinking like right about there.
All right.
All right, so there you go.
Now I don't even have to imagine.
All right, now yeah. But if you're by yourself and you don't have me to do do it yourself before you cut it. All right. Okay, good. There we have 3. 1 loaf, 2 loaves, 3 loaves. All right. So this one might be big. Oh, we'll see. I think it might.
Well, I imagined that one.
Yeah,
so it's fine.
I imagined that one. Now you're just gonna have to fool with this, and you're gonna figure it out by yourself, because you're gonna have some small loaves, some big loaves, and then you'll figure it out.
Not as lucky as me. You don't have Magpie. Yeah.
So. Okay, Jacqueline, make a loaf.
All right.
And all you're gonna do, you're not gonna play with it too much because you don't want to get too much air out of it, and you're just gonna kind of roll it up.
This is the part I always feel nervous about too. Does that look good?
Yeah.
Or do you want it better?
No, it looks fine. We'll get some of the flour off and just kind of, you know, there you go. You got yourself a
I'm always
loaf
afraid
of
I'm
bread.
gonna like knead it too much.
Yeah.
But then
Nah, you can't knead it too much. A little bit too much flour, but
I'm very needy.
But it would just have a floury top. All right. So and then you need some loaf pans. You're better off buying some of these things. The foil ones kind of don't work real well. But they work. If that's all you have, they work. Oh yeah. All right. Good. All right. Stick it in. Oh,
I didn't get all the flour off.
she's so expert. So very, very expert.
Done it a few times now.
All right.
See, like that one seems too long. Should I fold it the other way?
No, just we can kind of
fold it.
Yeah, and they kind of fall into the pan and kind of makes itself. You know, like I say, is it rocket science, Jacqueline?
No, and that's the thing. I get nervous about it, but honestly, it doesn't really matter.
It's bread. It's bread. It's for your
all
family.
tastes
Yeah, it's for your family. If it doesn't
I just
come
want it
out
to
right,
look good for you because
I know. Yeah, because we're showing off, sort of. All right, so we've got 3 loaves of bread. Now, time to get out the Kindle or the iPad.
The mop.
Yeah, or the mop.
That's what I call my Kindle.
Yes, yeah. I named mine the broom.
I gotta go mop.
So time to get out the broom, and we're going to cover this with the same towel that we used before, and another hour and a half has to pass by. Okay, so here we are. We have been cleaning
Yes.
for an hour and a half.
Just
Yeah,
exhausting.
and,
It's sparkling.
Yeah, and the Countess did get married. I mean,
Oh.
I did wipe the kitchen floor.
And all this loafing about is beneficial to our
That's
meal.
right. So you see, here we go. They're ready for the oven. So now we're going to bake them at 350 for about 25 minutes. We'll check them at 25 minutes.
So it's out of the oven, and in order to know if they're done, you just knock.
And they should sound hollow.
Hello. Done.
All right, and then dump it out onto the rack. so
Nobody's
that we can-
home.
Yeah.
Then you're good.
And there you are. Look at
The
that.
other one. You want to freeze it. What I always do is I slice it first
That's a
and
good
then freeze
idea.
it so you can just pull off
Yeah.
as you want. Or
That's a
you can
good
freeze it
idea.
whole, but you can't. Then you won't
Or
be able to sit.
do a half a loaf, however you want to do it. Put it in a plastic bag, label it, put it in the freezer, and you're done. Okay, and now for the fun part. Now, the
Slicing.
bread is
Still
still
pretty
really,
hot.
really nice and warm. So once again, you're not going to press the knife down. You're going to do nice little saws. Nice little saws. Should we split one?
Sure.
Okay, split a crust.
Steaming.
It's delicious. Just delicious.
A little bit of I just love this with just a little bit of butter and
Okay,
honey
yes.
or
All right. Oh, I have honey. Hang on.
a little honey on it. A little bit of butter. So good. Or you can melt cheese on it. Whatever. You know how to use bread. But this particularly I think is really good with just some
There we go.
butter. Once you have it like this, it's such a treat. It
Yeah.
tastes so good
Yeah.
without all those preservatives and extra stuff they get in the store bread. They have no choice to put that in, so it lasts.
Yeah.
Because you'll see this would go stale and bad probably within a couple of days.
Oh, a couple of days. And here's the thing. It won't ever go stale or moldy because it won't last. Everyone will eat it. That's why you have to
No.
make more than one loaf.
It gets
And
eaten
also, I don't know if we told you before, but if you price it out, it's 33 cents a loaf to make. And it's $4, $3.99 a loaf to buy some really, really nice, decent artisan bread. So there you go. Save yourself some money.
Thanks for joining us. Please watch next time, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up.